Peace and blessings, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This is Karev speaking. And on this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast, we go to Mount Vernon. That's right, Money Earnin Mount Vernon to meet the Real Simba, an artist that takes his roots from the West Indies and American culture and makes music that's for everybody. That'll make you bop, make you dance, make you feel good, and have people tell you how they like the way you move. Before we get into this interview, we'd like to give a word to our sponsor. This interview is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to get out of debt and fix your credit line and also open your wallet for more money instead of just paying bills or waiting for stimulus checks, contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com, or you can call them at 862-250-5122. Tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you, and you may get something special in return. Once again, thank you for listening, and the Real Simba is an artist that you should check for. Someone who does the music not just to make you dance, not just to make you feel good, but he's doing it for a higher power and to take care of his family and responsibilities as a family man. That's admirable. So please, tune in for this great interview, and at the end, I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Peace and blessings, everybody, and welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. And I'm on the line with a new MC that's not quite new, but his sound is refreshing and fresh. Introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah. What's good, man? It's your boy, the Real Simba, straight out of Money Earnin Mount Vernon, man.
Hey, man, you come from a line of credible MC talent and hip-hop talent like Heavy D, Pete Rock, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Feel smooth, couple of
Yep. Yeah, all right, so tell me, what does Mount Vernon bring to the game that other people seem to forget since they talk about the boroughs?
I mean, right now, Mount Vernon brings that I don't want to, contradict anywhere else, but Mount Vernon brings that real music, you know what I mean? And I'm speaking for myself and what I've seen. My town is everybody hustling, everybody working hard, you know what I mean? So it's you hear that in the music, but not only that, it's a lot of Jamaicans, Guyanese, Brazilians. It's everybody in my city. You get me? So we bringing that flavor in, that flavor in your ear, so to speak. You know what I mean? Where you just hear the versatility, you hear all the rhythm, you hear everything in the music, man. And I do it all when it comes to the music. R&B, hip-hop, reggae, I do a little bit of everything. So we bringing flavor back.
Well, one thing about you talking about the island flavor is that it's all about connecting with the rhythm and the wordplay. And doing my histories of who you are, I got to tell you that you're a vibe-ish artist, but you don't vibe like everybody else. How does that hit you when I say that?
For real, and that's what I live for, you get me? Because as an artist, I want to have my own persona. I get it. At the end of the day, we all doing music, you get me? So we're all doing the same general thing, but it's so crazy, and I respect and I love what you just said, is because it vibes, but I sound different, and that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to sound different because I'm me. You get me? I'm not imitating nobody's style. Don't get me wrong. I give love to everybody doing their thing. You know, shout out all the new artists. Shout out all the artists that came before me. The legends, you know what I mean? But it's better to always be yourself. Don't put on no facade. Don't try to be something that you're not. And in my music, I'm just me.
Yeah, see, being yourself is the key to being a great artist. Because in hip hop, we don't have a lot of great artists. We have a lot of good participants. People that just do music but not trying to create music. What are you trying to create with your movement?
And see, the way that, and I like how you said that as well, because with me, I've never looked at it as just music. I'm looking at this as my history, my timeline. So when people go back and they see what did the Real Simba did, who is the Real Simba, what impact did he have on the world, I want to leave behind my catalog of music and the impact that I had on the people and what I did. You get me? So, for me, music is an extension of my soul. It's an extension of who I am. And it just, a lot of times, it's things that I've experienced. You know what I mean? And I put it into a song, I put it into a track so other people can, know that they ain't alone. You get me? Or sometimes I put my music out there to have people feel like how I'm feeling. You get me? Like how I did with the How I Move track. So definitely, man, music to me is bigger than just writing something and getting paid for it. It's about my legacy.
I feel that, and hold on to that because we're going to talk about that. But see, having a movement means you have to be a man of the people. Let's talk about your name first. What does the Real Simba mean, and what are you symbolizing with that title?
I mean, so, of course, it's like a lot of people can think. Simba comes from a lot of it being the Lion King, a lot of the influence that I've gone through in my life, and how I relate to that story of Simba himself. Also, certain artists like J. Cole and a couple others. You know what I mean? So, like, the name just symbolizing, like, that hard work and that effort that he himself put in. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he put in hard work and effort, and it's like, a lot of times you don't have nothing. Coming from the ghetto, coming from where I'm from, I'm originally born and raised in Jamaica. You get me? I had to walk like 2 miles for water whenever water would be going in my town. You get me? So coming from where I'm from, I never really had nothing, so I always had to work. You know, nothing was ever given to me. So I relate to that in the story, like how he was supposed to be king and it was all taken from him. But rather than give up, he worked, went through all these obstacles, all these trials, these tribulations, and then at the end of the day, he got to where he was destined to be.
So the Real Simba recognizes perseverance to claim your throne and to be the man that you're supposed to be.
And the real is because I'm really me. My music is really me. There's no facade, there's no games, there's no gimmick. It's just me.
It's funny that you say that because now I want to talk on the song Prayers Up.
Yeah.
Like even with what you're telling me, now that song makes total sense. Because when most people hear music, it's like, okay, I hear this. Okay, I hear that. But the beauty of this platform is when people get to hear you and then they hear your music, now they can relate to you. One thing that you personify in Prayers Up is not only making it, but making sure you're taking care of the people that you love. How do the people you love make you a better artist than just doing music?
Number one, just the support. You get me? Because the music is tough. So my sisters, my sister-in-laws, brothers-in-laws, aunts, uncles, cousins, literally everybody showed me love. You get me? Like if I got a show, I'll have more of my family in the show than regular people. You get me? Like, because I come from a big family. I got 9 brothers and sisters. So if I do a show, I invite my brothers and sisters. They bring their people. I did a show in Brooklyn the other time. I had like just me. I had like 70 people in there. You get me? So like they just keep pushing me. And at the end of the day, I'm doing this not only for me. I'm doing this for them. And I take it to something that Will Smith has said. He said, if you work hard for yourself, there's only so much you can achieve. But if you work hard for yourself and the people around you, you can achieve much more. You get me? So that's what I set out to do.
Well, that's the mark of leadership because a wise man once said, if you have a team and only you eat, your team's going to fall. But if you have a team, you teach everybody how to eat, then you could build an empire.
Yes,
you know
and I like that you said that. You said teach everybody how to eat, not feed them. So I like that you said that because at the end of the day, you give a man a fish, he's going to eat the fish, he's going to be done. You teach him how to fish, he learns how to generate his own income.
And then to add on that, you teach a man how to dig a pond, then he's an entity that can supply generations and establish legacies instead of one story. True indeed.
Exactly. That's for real, man. That's a fact.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, one thing about Heritage Hip Hop is we do not interview you just to talk about music. We like to go in depth with the artist, and that's why I listen to some of your old music. And the song OMG, that's my shit. I like that one. I like the energy. But one thing about today's artists, I'll call y'all the anime generation. Because the anime generation is colorful, they're vibish, and they're full of that energy. What's more important to you, the energy or setting the stage for the track?
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree because, like, if you're not coming correct with the energy, because you got to remember, like, when a lot of people hear your songs, they want to vibe. They want to be put in a mood. And people in, like, that depressed kind of mood where they just want to chill, nonchalant, they put on some R&B. They put on some chill music. You get me? If you trying to talk to a shorty and y'all in the room together, you going to put on some smooth, you know what I mean, some Usher, some, like, Trey Songz, stuff like that. So with my music, at that track particularly was a party track, so I want to put people in that mood. So to do that, you have to bring that energy. You have to get. She like how I move. She said, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like, so that's what energy in the train of thought when I had put that track out.
Yeah, I mean, The thing about vibes and energy, some people see them as the same thing, but they're not. And I'm glad you know that, because some people think the vibe is the feeling and the energy is how you move. Well, actually, it's different. The vibe is the feeling, but the energy is the creativity. And as I heard your songs from 2018 to now 2020, I realized that the maturity in your sound came not only through experience in life, but it came through creativity. Who is Young Simba from OMG to Young Simba from the classic song Phone Line?
I mean, like, so what other song you said? You said OMG and what else?
Phone Line.
I mean, like, it's just showing. So OMG Simba was still young Simba. You get me? In the sense that it was just more vibey at the time, and just like just more the obnoxious personality when you're younger. You get me? So I put that out there on the track, and the inspiration for that was my little nephew. You get me? Because he would come into the house, and in my house, if you say God's name in vain in my house, my mom would hit you and be like, don't say the Lord's name in vain. You get me? So he used to say, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So that's what went into that song. So that was more like a comical kind of song, or more like chill, like but fun and upbeat type of song. And I made that song for everybody. A lot of my music I made for any generation, any age group, any ethnicity, any language, anything. You get me? Because I want everybody to be able to hear what the point I'm trying to come across. So on that song, it was more like a vibey, a little comical, a little upbeat. Phone Line now, of course, you know, Phone Line is like, that's when you get hurt. Shorty did you wrong. But you still in your feelings, you deep in your emotions. So I wanted to come across with that emotion of how I felt at the time of it and how I felt like dealing with it. And that, again, that's real music. That's really what happened. That's really what I've been through. You get me? So I just loved how I went from like that upbeat party energy to like, all right, boom, I'm going to give you something smooth, mellow, and a little bit of heartbreak. So it's like I'm just growing, evolving, and just filling out these different experiences that I've lived through.
So I got to ask you this question, then, because this is where so many artists fail. Even after the Kid Cudi generation, I'm not a Kid Cudi fan. A lot of people give him respect. Shout out to Kid Cudi. He's just not for me. But after the Kid Cudi era, a lot of people started putting their feelings, their depression, and their moods in their music, but the realism is not there. Why is it the job of an artist to make sure they connect to realism and not just make music that tells a story?
Because you're an artist. If your music is not actual and is not real, it's like it doesn't appeal to the fans as much. You get what I'm trying to say? In the sense that if you find out that, let's say, Jay-Z didn't really grow up in Brooklyn, and he didn't really have to sell drugs, and he wasn't in the streets hustling, but you hear that music, it's like now you can't even connect. Because you like, this dude just telling a story. But it's the difference between telling a story and living through a story. You get me? A guy that can just be a good storyteller, he'll never be able to emphasize and to really relate to the part that actually happened. So definitely the realism got to be there, because that's where your fans connect with you. You get me? If you've never been in the hood and you never really lived in the hood, it's like people gonna be like, nah, I can't really relate to this because homie just chatting.
So I'll ask you this question then. Why do we, as the consumer or the fan, why do we consume music different than movies when they both tell stories?
Because, again, it goes back to, like, the packaging of that music and who's the one giving that music or endorsing that music. You get me? We're going to consume it differently based off of who's giving us that information. You get me? If you hear Jay-Z, again, I'll just use him because he's also one of my favorite artists. If you hear a lot of his tracks, it's like, all right, this is Ho. We already know Ho's backstory, so if Ho says something, we don't really got to question it. You get me? But now let's say a new guy come out, and then he's talking about this, that, and the third. It's like, all right, but 6ix9ine, did he really live that life? You get me? Now you're like, I don't really know this for me. So it's all about who's giving it to you, because it's the standpoint. Is that person telling a real story? Is that story fabricated?
So then what's the true connection that you establish with your music so the fans always run to you when a new song comes out?
I mean, definitely what I want to establish with the fans is just be yourself, number one. Number two, it's like, even if you look at a lot of my videos, right? And I know a lot of my people will be like, but you don't got this, you don't got that. At the end of the day, I'm myself. You know, I buy what I want. I wear what I want. Nothing controls my outlook on life. So with my music, it's the same thing as well. Nothing controls my outlook on that. So I put the real into my music, and I hope people relate to it and see the message that I'm trying to come across. You get me? Because I have party tracks, yeah. I have reggae tracks, yeah. I got trap tracks, yeah. I got rap, I got R&B, and I got some tracks where I can really get into the nitty-gritty and talk to the people and inspire the youth to be better. You get me? So I just got a whole versatile. Like, I got a track right now that's set to come out soon off my mixtape called This Is Only the Beginning, you know. And the track, the first line is, I'm from the hood, I don't know how to act. Police checking because they think we selling crack. They kill us dead, we ain't even got a strap. Came from the bottom and we never going back. You get me? So it's like, that's real. You get me? It's real. It's really what we going through, what we lived through, and what I myself have lived through. You know, so I definitely want people to just see the real me.
Now, I'm glad you segued into that because that goes perfectly into, once again, who you are and the music that you put out. In today's society, it's very necessary for the artist to reflect the times in which they're living in. And unfortunately, hip-hop always reflects the pain of the inner city. And in today's world, the inner city is now fighting back. What do you think is the responsibility of the artist during these times?
I mean, at the end of the day, people got to realize where hip-hop came from. Hip-hop started as a way to revolutionize the people and as a way to get the message across. You know what I mean? That's why they had tracks, fight the power. You know what I mean? So certain, fuck the police. Like, so that's where a lot of these tracks come from. It's our culture. You get me? So at the end of the day, we got to be real to our culture because, for example, that's why I mentioned my little nephew. A lot of my nephews, my nieces, they listen to my tracks. My younger cousins, they listen to my tracks. So at the end of the day, I'll never put nothing in my music, robbing this dude, shoot this dude, that, because that's not me. I get it if somebody lived through that and somebody really doing that and they telling a story, that's on them. But we got to have, at the end of the day, we're living for much more than us. We're living for the culture and we're living for the future. Because the seed that we plant today is what revolutionized the world 100 years from now.
And you never shoot yourself up, Plaxico, right?
Thanks.
For everybody who don't know, listen to the music and you know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pleased to hear your answer because you said your mom is a biblical woman, right? I believe in the Bible and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I will salute to mom and her faith, and anybody who else who has different faith, salute to you if you live your faith. I want to ask you this because you take a lot of pride in your mom and your family because you talk about doing right for her and your family throughout your music. Shout out to Fortune 500. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, in doing such, mom had to prepare you for the world. And in the Bible, it talked about how in the book of Revelations, it's the end of the age, not the end of the world, the end of the age for the new era to come in. Do you feel today's world is getting to the end of the age and the new world is coming into fruition?
I believe so. And I say that not only because of music, but because of what's happening around the world right now and the series of events that has happened. You get me? In the sense that if somebody asked me a question today, they asked me about, the whole thing of what's going on with the racial injustice and police brutality. And if you don't believe that that's an actual thing, you got to go talk to God or whoever your Messiah is, because everybody can see that it is. You get me? And this is what I said. She asked me, how do we fix it? And I said to her, I said, imagine you have a tree, and you cut the top of the tree off, but you still have the roots of the tree. The new branches that spring from that tree, yeah, they're new branches, but they're still a part of that first initial root that's deep inside the ground, right? So now these new branches spread, and you got to keep in mind, they're still going to have that same influence. They're still from the same tree. In order to fix the problem, we don't need to chop the tree off or cut some of the tree. We need to uproot that tree and plant a new seed. So that's definitely what I see coming into fruition right now in the world. Because I went to a protest yesterday. I've been going to protests like they my job. You get me? So it's beautiful when you go out there and you see all these people in support of one general cause. And it's great when that cause is just love. Because that's all we asking for. We're not asking for nothing crazy. We're not asking for nothing that isn't guaranteed to everybody in this world. We just asking for love. You get me? Because I just thought to myself today, a cop sees me, he sees a black man, and excuse the terminology, a nigger, whatever the terminology they want to use or whatever they see. But at the end of the day, he's not going to see me and say, all right, this kid got an associate's degree. He also has a bachelor's degree, in which he's a double major, double minor, pre-law, business, history, political science. This kid came from Jamaica where he had nothing. He worked hard. He got a good job. He has 2 businesses, an LLC for his music. You get me? A distribution company, a clothing line. Like, they don't see that. You know, so that's definitely what, like, again, like with this whole generation and stuff like that, I definitely see this coming to fruition because, again, it's educating the people, and that's how we get a change.
Facts. And shout out to Jamaica, because Jamaica always keeps the flavor, and Jamaica, Haiti, West Indian culture, etc., is more influential on the world than the negative press or the racism that tries to call them immigrants or whatever else. So shout out to the West Indies for real. You know?
Yes, sir. Buckshot. Boop, boop.
That's what I'm talking about. So being that your music is a strata of different sounds, where would you like to hear your music the most? Like where would you be at peace to hear your music and know that, yes, this is what I always wanted?
I mean, this is what I think, right? If I could go to somewhere like Cuba and hear one of my songs being played, then I'm like, all right, I'm happy. You get me? Because I just want to appeal. I don't want to appeal to the masses, but I want the masses to hear my words. You get me? So a lot of people make music, and they try to appeal to the masses. I don't do that. I make music that's really me, and I just want everybody to hear it. And you're free to say if you like it or if you don't, because at the end of the day, it's music. But that's not going to change how I feel about myself nor my music.
Unfortunately, though, music is so free that people don't appreciate it. And that's the one thing, I hate to say this, please don't take it the wrong way, everybody listening, but coronavirus actually helped the music industry because people got to sit down and listen to music, and now they can know what's the difference between a good artist and some bullshit that's out there just being freely given to them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And by listening to people's music, whether you catch the vibe or you catch the message, you get to hear the heart of the artist. Why do you think music is missing so much heart in it?
Because music, so the words that you just said, right? You said artist, right? So I believe that there's a few different people in this world when it comes to music, right? I believe, yes, you have artists, and I believe you also have entertainers, right? Now, in the form of entertainment, people will do whatever it is to appeal to others, right? And they have writers, they have producers, they have everybody that touched that thing before they get to even touch it. At the end of the day, if you have an artist and you still may have those same influences, but art is not a fast food. Art is the chef that takes the time, he's grilling the steak, or let's say you got a piece of meat, dressing it, let it marinate for the end product to be great. You have a lot of people that do a lot of ready done. They just want to get something out for people to hear. And then you have people that cultivate works of art. And that's what I am. I'm somebody who cultivates works of art. You get me? Because I'm not limited to a rapper, a singer, or whatever it may be. I'm an artist. And that's the difference.
The Real Simba is an artist that's also a chef. Now let's take it to the kitchen, because now you done put something down that I got to talk to you about now. Ain't nothing like a bomb curry cue. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Now when it comes to curry cue, whether you got beef on there, chicken, shrimp, or whatever you got, it's all about not only the flavoring, which is the song, it's not only about the packaging, what is the plate, it's also the delivery, which is the substance. Am I correct?
100%.
Now, this is what I love about West Indian culture and West Indian music. Sometimes the presentation is so big that you only can be fed fully by experiencing the music. Correct?
Yeah.
So in experiencing the Real Simba's music, they get to learn you, But what are they walking away with that made their ears more clearer for the next song?
Exactly. So, I mean, what they're going to walk away from is the love that's in the music. You get me? The love, just me being genuine and just like the life, you know, because you hear my music and like you said earlier, you really get a feel for who I am as a person, and that's really me. So when you see me or you meet me, nothing will change. So that's what opens you up to my music, because you just see, like, at the end of the day, it's my passion. It's not something I'm doing because, hey, I'm going to get rich, I'm going to be famous. No, this is something I'm doing because I feel I'm destined.
I like that. Now, see, we're gonna 360 our conversation and start back at the beginning with what you just said. Mount Vernon hip hop is the display and presentation of New York that most New Yorkers don't see. But all of New York and the Tri-Borough, they borrow from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I feel
What
like
is
New York is really the central hub, you know, and then a lot of people just, they take something from here and then they make their own version of it, if that makes sense.
So then, here's my question to you, off of exactly what you said. We know how to define Brooklyn. We know how to define Queens. We know how to define Yonkers. We even right now are defining Buffalo through Griselda. When somebody says this is Mount Vernon, what would make them think of you first and represent Mount Vernon as your borough, your city, your town?
I mean, my music really, you're going to see a lot of just me being real. And when you define, like, let's say Brooklyn, Mount Vernon, whatever it may be, you're going to get what my music really is. So you're going to see me, and then, again, like, just the vibe and the energy in it, you're going to get the difference. And also it goes back to the type of beats as well.
Mm-hmm. The beats. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because that's something I really wanted to ask you, because some of your beats, I don't think they bring the best out of you. I think you are a legit canvas, and either people are going to look too close or look too far away and miss the beauty of the wordplay. You feel me? We already talked about where you're from and that sound.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing when it comes to understanding the different boroughs and finding that sound is, I want to know, when it's to the music, does the music talk to you, or are you talking to the music when you create?
So it starts off with the music talking to me, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
like a conversation as it goes to where I talk back, and it's like it's asking a question and I answer, you know what I mean? So the music definitely talks to me, because that's my first initial inspiration, and then I get really deep into it by telling my story and so on.
I like that. You know what? I asked you that question because there's artists that write a cappella and then people fit the beat around them. There's people who actually listen to music to be inspired, and there's people who actually say the beat talks. What language are you hearing when the beat talks to you to be creative?
It's not even a language. I don't even know how to describe it. I think it's more so a feel. You know, it doesn't even say. It's not like it tells you exactly, but it's more like a feel. You know, so every beat can give you a different feel. Whether it's excitement, whether it's pain, pleasure, passion, it can give you that feel.
Some of the best music a person will ever hear is music that they can feel rather than the music that they can listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the songs that make you cry. Those are the songs that make you laugh. And those are the songs that take you back to memories that make you enjoy your life. What song did you create, in your opinion, that puts people in that mold that they go back somewhere and it's just like the best time of their life?
I got a song called You Know. You get me? And the You Know song is a very vibey and upbeat song. And it gives you that vibe that you can't just help but smile. You get me? You can't help but be happy because the song is such up. You know that I love you. Oh yeah. You know that I want you. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just like generally it's this good feel. The song itself, like the beat, the words, the lyrics, everything really comes together and gives you that good feel.
I like that. I like that because a lot of the feelings that people people are afraid to express their feelings. They're only afraid. They only want to express their pain. A lot of people want pity, and that's piece of shit music in my opinion. I don't like it. Part of my language, but I don't like when people try to force feed you emotions, not giving you a chance to feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
I think one of the songs that you helped me feel was the Fear of Love song. Would you like to touch on that for a minute?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's what I was going for. And that's why I named that song Fear of Love, because it's like J. Cole said. He said one of the scariest thing in this world is that fear of, again, like just finding love and losing it.
Everybody out there listening, The Fear of Love is available on This Is Only the Beginning by the Real Simba. 9 tracks of vibes and feeling. If you never heard of it, do yourself a favor and give your ears the present of listening to good music. Make sure you go support that. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got another song out right now called How I Move. How did we get there and why are you moving?
So How I Move came about because I was actually in the club and a girl came up to me and she was like, yo, yada, yada, this, that. She's like, I like your vibe, I like your energy, I like how you move, yada, yada. So she came up to me with a bottle. You get me? And in my head, like, never in my life have I been in the club and a girl came to me with a whole bottle. So I did that How I Move. It was really to, like, kind of express that feel and, like, real life. She like how I move. She said, whoa, you get me? So it was that type of vibing song. And I know it says she like how I move, but it's to get everybody up and moving because girls hear that song, they vibe out. The homeboys hear that song, they still vibe out. So it's for everybody.
I feel that. So, for everybody out there listening, the Real Simba has music for everybody. And most importantly, that means you as well. Not he just don't say that's for young folks or whatever. Music has no age limit to it. So if it's good, you vibe to it. Please give everybody your social media so they know how to follow you and how to get some of your music.
Yes, sir. So the social media on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, all that stuff is The Real Simba. So it's TheRealSimba_, The Real Simba on all platforms.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. So before we close out the interview, let me just say to everybody out there, The Real Simba makes good music, man. And if you like the vibe, if you like that that sound, make sure you support him and his movement by buying the music. Streaming is cool, but if you really support somebody, you don't need your phone to listen to their music. So if the single is $1, put $1 down. If the album's $10, put $10 down and make sure you support. Because by doing that, you're giving them money so that they can execute more music and have access to better things so the music can get better and you can grow with them. So please, purchase power is what hip-hop is all about. So spend the time and spend the money and invest in the artist and you get greatness back. All right?
That's 100%, man. I appreciate the love and support, man.
All right, now it's time for the rapid-fire questions. You ready to have some fun?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, the rapid-fire questions are not yes-no questions. I don't care who you want to have sex with, what your favorite food is, or your favorite color. Don't care. All right? Heritage hip-hop is about the depth of the artist, so we're going to ask you questions that focus on you as the man, the artist, and the creator that you are, and your impact on the game. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Excluding all the music you make is not eligible for this question. What song or album perfectly defines your life?
I would say, Forest Hills Drive, J. Cole.
Wow, how so?
So, a lot of that stuff that J. Cole preaches about, having a mother with an illness, a mother with addiction, stuff like that, losing the house, losing a lot of stuff, like the stories of the girls that he got pregnant, so on. I lived through, like, so much of that stuff, having a step-parent that you feel don't like you, so I relate to so much of that story, man, so definitely, like, and the songs that he put in there about how he loves his mother, so on, so it definitely, yeah, I'll definitely say that Forest Hills Drive out.
Okay, that's peace. Next question is, understanding that today's hip-hop is about the feature, I'm so happy to hear your music and not hear 70 people on it with you. I get to experience you as an artist. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But there are people who do features, and features should be special, not the norm. Because when somebody does a feature, sometimes the feature artist can steal the song from you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
In your opinion, who has the best feature or guest 16 in hip hop history?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Is there any song in particular that comes to mind?
That feature he has with I think with Drake, with the Fireman feature he had with Drake. Definitely Lil Wayne got some of the best features out there in the world.
If you say so, that's what's up. Okay, no problem. My next question is this: though the feature was or is stable, the remix wasn't stable as well. Either we remade beats or we added people to the songs to make the song have a new life. What's the best remix of all time to you?
The best remix, I think, is that Tory Lanez remix, that Controller remix he did over the Drake song, which was an old school Jamaican classic remix that Tory Lanez scripted too. So he kind of like remixed that kind of like twice.
Yeah, because people actually thought it was a Drake song and it was his song, which is crazy.
Exactly. And then he used the old school Jamaican track and flipped that.
Yeah, which is bananas. You got to be skilled to know that. Shout out to Canada and one of the best MCs that never gets talked about, Cardinal Official. Shout out to them. Right? So, back to the point, Real Simba. Here we go. I got to ask you this question. In light of today's trajectory when it comes towards society and music coming together, what do you think will effectively change society and not have us go through the same continuance of the injustices and the prejudices that we face today?
So I'll say definitely the big impact has to be love. At the end of the day, I say it all the time, hate is expensive, but love is free. You get me? So that's what has to change the world. We got to start preaching love, not only in music, but in every aspect of the world. And you got to start teaching love in school. You get me? Because that's where it comes from. It all comes from love and having that general understanding and love for human life.
So then, sidebar, love is a law unto its own, but the written law keeps a lot of this stuff in action. So do you think love will beat the written law, or does the written law need to be changed by love?
It needs to be both, and this is why I say that, because and I study politics, you get me, a lot of these political laws and rules, right, a lot of them are trying to either establish power or take power away from somebody else. So 100% the written law has to be changed. And when I say change, I mean change. I don't mean amended. I don't mean like the new law, because I tell people, if you look at the Constitution, it still says in the Constitution about the rights of African American and how we're spoken of and who we are and what we are. It was just later amended, you get me? So the law is still in existence, but it was just amended so that it's nullified. So we got to definitely, the written law is what has to change. But I feel like just everybody having that understanding that, hey, regardless of the color of our skin, we're people, and we should love each other as people. That's what's going to lead to the laws being changed. And definitely, I support all these protests, even the riots, to be honest with you. As long as they're non-violent, go ahead, protest, do all you want, man.
Word. Now see, that's called the instrument of change. It's also called inspiration. You can be inspired by others in music to make you want to collab and work with them. In the perfect scenario, what would be your perfect song, features and producer included, dead or alive, no restrictions? What would your dream song be?
My dream song, you saying with the features included?
Yeah, and who's doing the beats? Yep.
So my dream song, boom, features included would be Jay-Z, J. Cole, Nas, Chris Brown, Drake, all these people on one track, with the beats co-produced by London on the track, DJ Khaled, and Metro Boomin.
Oh, you want to dance? You want people to you want to teach people while making them dance. Okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I put no Bobby Cartel on there too.
Okay. Hey, you wanna now that's a vibe out. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's straight motion. Okay. You taking it back to the 90s with the 20-minute songs, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that. That's what's up. My next question gears more towards you more than the music. You have put your music out as your own entity, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's where most people fail when they are getting into the music game. Why was it important for you to go into music as a partner rather than somebody looking for a deal to create?
Because at the end of the day, right, music is a business. Some people look at it as a hobby. That's cool. You get me? But if you really want to leave an impact on the world, and again, like, create something of this, it has to be a business. You have to come into a business minded. For me personally, I look at it for what it is. It's like, okay, how do I do this the right way? How do I grow? How do I learn? A lot of people, when they start music, they get so scared because they really want to make it right away. You get me? They want to make it right now, today. But just like any other business, you might not make it in a year, in 2 years, in 3, and 4. Sometimes there's no chart that tells you exactly when you're going to make it. So you just got to keep driven, and you got to be persistent and stay consistent as well.
Word. That's what's up. I think I'll tell all rappers or artists, singers, if you don't know what a Schedule C form is, then you're not successful. You know what I'm saying? And as an artist with a Schedule C, not only are you taking control of your brand, you're taking control of your art, so no one takes control of your art for you. You see what I mean?
100%.
So the next question I have to ask you is this. Politics included, what makes music successful?
What makes me successful is my work ethic and the people around me. Shout out my manager, Fools. Shout out the Gate Records. Shout out MJ. Shout out all the people around me, because that's what makes you successful. To be great, you have to have a team. You get me? A lot of people, when they think about success, they think success is an individual thing. They think there's an individualistic trait within one person that makes them successful. No, a lot of success comes from the people around you, and again, formulating a team that works together towards one central goal.
Word, and that's something I want everybody to walk away from with this conversation. Is you did not just do it by yourself. Once again, you did it for you and your family, so y'all can all rise together. Entrepreneurship is not solidarity. Entrepreneurship is community building, because each one teach one, and we all build and grow together. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, everybody, we thank you for listening to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Here's our final question for the Real Simba. Unfortunately, you're going to pass away one day, and the world is not going to have you. God forbid that happens anytime soon. We want you to live 1,000,000 lifetimes. But in 2,000 years, there's going to be a major shift in the planet, and somebody's going to find a weird alien device called the laptop and the MP3. And when they find it, they're going to find your music. What is the legacy that you left on the world that made the world a better place because you did music?
So my legacy is going to be love, good music, good vibration, appreciation of where you are in life, aspirations of where you want to be in life. You know, so, and definitely you're going to see the history, because I put everything in my music. I put what we're going through right now, so somebody can hear that, and it's going to be a piece of history, because you can hear not only my story, but the story of many others like me. And you can hear stories of what was going on at that time. So definitely, like, you'll hear a lot of my music, and you'll hear a lot from it.
All right, I like that. So everybody out there, once again, make sure you listen to the Real Simba, and if you like his music, support. If you love his music, put some money down, and be sure to invest in the people that's looking to make a change in society, because society will never get better unless we endorse the people who's willing to make that change. So with that being said, this is Karev. We say peace, and we out.
Once again, thank you for listening to this episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast featuring the Real Simba, an artist that puts his all into his music and is doing music not only to make you move, to provide for his family and give a better life to the ones he loves. That's admirable, and those are the type of artists that we need in the game, because they give hope not only to the community, but they give hope by their example. And that's the kind of music and people that I like to stand by. So salute to the Real Simba for being a great artist and a great man in society. This episode was brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to get your credit repaired and not only live stimulus check to stimulus check or wait for a handout, contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com, or you can call them at 862-250-5122 and tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you. This program is brought to you by an exclusive team of great individuals that we want to shout out. So shout out to our financial advisors at Transparent Credit Repair. Shout out to our virtual assistant, Fatty's Place, which can be reached at FADDYSPLACE, Fatty's Place on Instagram. Fatty's Place helps us with our social media. So if you want your social media to pop and for great splashes and things like that to be done and flyers, contact Fatty's Place ASAP for quality work. Also like to shout out Fire Jaws, a prolific MC that went from the microphone to behind the boards to learn marketing, promotion, and placement. You can contact him on Instagram at FIREJAWS. He's the owner of Wildfire Marketing for marketing, promotion, and placement for your music, your brand, your business, music related or not. He's a great person to talk to. So once again, you can contact him at FIREJAWS on Instagram. That's Fire Jaws. Shout out to Big A and Lex Diamonds. Big A runs the Big A Show, which you can see on YouTube. I'm the co-host of that show, but it's the Big A Show, podcasting with friends. You can see that on YouTube at AHDAYAR. And shout out to Lex Diamonds of Diamonds Entertainment LLC, DIEMENZ. Two talk shows that deal with regular life, whether it's sports, entertainment, or the many fields of what you may like to talk about in culture. To everybody out there listening, Heritage Hip Hop has a website. You can join us at www.heritagehiphop.com. You can find us at Heritage Hip Hop at YouTube. We are looking to build this platform, so we're taking donations on Cash App. All you gotta do is hit the donate button, and it takes you to everything on the website. We are on all social medias, and we have a store for anyone who likes to buy apparel. Our store is www.storefrontier.com/Heritage Hip Hop. If you go to the website, you can see it. All members of our website get exclusives that you don't get on Facebook or Instagram. You get it directly from us. So please join our movement, and we thank you for your continued support. For everybody out there listening, may the Most High bless you as you stay safe during COVID-19, and as this ever-changing world keeps changing, please stay safe. And no matter if you stand for something, you won't fall for anything. So make sure you stand strong in your beliefs and you stand strong for society. God made us not to be walked over, but God made us to be strong and to be sure in our convictions and our beliefs. So let's make sure we're believing in the right thing and teaching our children and all others who watch us what those things are. And with that, we say peace, and we're out.